FTW Broadcasting here. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you checked out Game 1 because we're right into Game 2 right now. We bring you hot StarCraft 2 action. North America, I believe, is what the NA stands for. NA Weekly Tournament number 16 Finals. Game 1 was taken down by my pick here in the top right-hand corner. cheeseGrater playing as the Green Zerg. And moving down to the bottom left-hand corner is Danny's pick on Xel'Naga Caverns. By the way, that is my favorite map. vaderSeven playing as the Red Terran. What is vaderSeven gonna do this game to take down cheeseGrater? cheeseGrater pretty much dominated last game, in my opinion.
Well, your opinion, that is your opinion, and your opinion is wrong. But anyone who saw the game knows that it was a very, very close match. And vaderSeven, he just didn't. I just don't feel like he responded to the Mutalist threat in the proper way. But what do I know? I think he put way too much emphasis on the Thors. We'll see exactly what he's going to do this game. I would like to see maybe Heavy Marine try a bio ball against the Mutalisk Speedlings, if that is in fact what cheeseGrater is going to do this time. We don't exactly know what they're planning. You got to switch up that game. We see the SCVs now on their way out rolling out. The drone is now rolling out. Hopefully we can see that fist bump that we all love to see. No, it looks like the SCV is going to go a different route. He just he poked his nose at that Xel'Naga, and now he's rolling out, so we're going to miss that. Meanwhile, the wall is just about finished for vaderSeven, so I don't know if cheeseGrater is going to get it. Yeah, he is going to be able to slip right in, it looks like before that Rax finishes, and sees a little bit of a different build from vaderSeven. vaderSeven last game went with the heavy gas early and the switch to the factory and Hellions. I'm not sure if he's planning to do that this game. We will see.
Proxy barracks right here for vaderSeven on the other side of the map. That's what he's up to.
Oh, very nice. So it looks like he's probably going to go with maybe a heavy early Marine push. I like to see that. I think that's a good way to switch it up here. The last game lasted a fairly long time. I went to late game and he kind of got out macroed and out comped. So if he can put early pressure on and really clamp down and put the screws to cheeseGrater, so to speak, we could see it. Oh, we see those Raxes or the bunkers going down now. Look at that. That is a very, very aggressive there by vaderSeven. I like that. It's definitely going to stop cheeseGrater from getting that early expand out if he wanted to, because he's actually building a wall at cheeseGrater's ramp. I've never seen that, and I love it.
Oh my gosh, I've only seen this once before, and that was from our boy SCV I believe they had a video on this on the UEN.com. I might be mistaken, but oh no, these two bunkers are going to sit here right at the front of the base, and I've actually seen Liquid TLO try to deal with this situation before. What he ended up doing was getting a bunch of roaches and burrowing them and unburrowing them over and over again to kind of out-micro the bunkers. But this is quite the situation with two Marines loaded up in here, completely blocking in his opponent, stopping the Zerg from doing what they do best, macroing it up, and this is really, really interesting. You've got to be happy out of vaderSeven right now.
I really like this. Looks like cheeseGrater's doing a pretty good job here. He's going to move his spine crawler over here. The spine crawler should be able to hit these bunkers with using the high ground if he places it just right. He is getting roaches out. Roaches with that good armor should be able to. Look, with that, since they've gotten that range upgrade a couple patches ago, they can now hit that bunker. That is a nice spot for them. And vaderSeven's got to go for the salvage, unfortunately. Nice setup. I almost think maybe if he had set it up on the top of the ramp, he might have had a better shot at it, but it would have probably been harder to get those up there. So in the end, I think he did a good job. He's held cheeseGrater off a little bit from macro while he himself expands. So good job there. He has pulled his proxy barracks back. It looks like he's going to go for a more traditional build now as he adds 2 more barracks. So he is going to go heavy bio at this point. And I wonder if he's even going to pump any Marauders. I see the tech lab going down. He saw the roaches, so it might be a good choice. I like what he did. If he's doing that, it's good. He basically used the bunkers to force cheeseGrater to go, and now it's over. Now cheeseGrater has now pushed vaderSeven away. But basically, he used this bunker rush to force cheeseGrater to go roaches, which he can then counter by going Marauders. I'm not sure if he's thinking that many steps ahead or if I'm overthinking it.
He might be thinking that many steps ahead. That would be a great strategy, and these guys are top-notch StarCraft players. So I really like that delay tactic there by vaderSeven. Very, very effective, allowing him to finish his command center before his opponent could even start his, and doing that to his Zerg player is absolutely deadly. And vaderSeven is impressing me, pulling out the stops here. Definitely angered, I would think, by last game. I don't know why he would be. He would be angered because he lost, but cheeseGrater's got a decent amount of roaches here, and I would like to see these roaches move across the map and do a little harass here and there and do a little scout, but cheeseGrater's a little bit shy right now, I think, after that tactic. By the way, there's been a drone sitting here at the 11 o'clock position, just hanging out behind the bushes back here, not doing anything, just to scout out attacks that could be coming along that top pathway.
Yeah, you say he's there to scout. I think he's just being lazy. That is a lazy, lazy drone right there. They're hanging out, you know, in the bushes right here, probably smoking a cigarette and just not wanting to do anything.
Well, wouldn't you? That'd probably be what you'd be doing if you were a drone, Danny.
Yeah, and, it sure would be.
Yeah, it would be. And both players just really getting their economy going and just wanting to move into mid-game. And it appears to me that both players are going to want to build up a decent-sized force before they move in on their opponent right now. And pulling up the income tab, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, vaderSeven is pretty far ahead right now in income, but look, because of the utilization of mules, both players overall with their economy infrastructure are pretty even. And moving into mid-game, cheeseGrater, what is this guy going to do? What's going to be his high-tier unit? And right now I see that Baneling nest dropping down at the top of his base, so he's planning on doing that Baneling bust. Probably a great idea, considering how vaderSeven's base is set up with these two Raxes blocking the way and these bunkers.
Yeah, absolutely, and he has taken a couple peeks at vaderSeven's base. He's seen these double Raxes, so he can only assume that we're looking at a heavy bio build and probably MMM, and Banelings are great against MMM as long as you can get him around, get that bowling ball of doom upgrade, and really just with the right positioning and the right micro, you can just devastate a Terran bio army.
Oh, you absolutely can. And we're going to have a little battle here at the left-hand Xel'Naga Cavern, Xel'Naga Tower, rather. And that Zergling is really winning the fight because that Marine was running scared. Can the Marine micro for his life? No. Gets slaughtered there. I'm pretty sure I saw that claw go through his head. It was an epic critical from that Zergling. And right now we see a bunch more Speedlings running across the map here from cheeseGrater. He's getting a little bit interested in that high yield expansion, and he's going to start pooping creep down into that area. And if he has bowling balls of doom, we've seen this before from a Zerg player at the top of the map. If you can get that creep extended around, at least halfway around that semicircle in the center of the map, you can just surround your Terran opponent and just explode all over their entire army.
Yeah, absolutely, and vaderSeven is moving on. He's got one little Banshee here to kind of complement his army. We'll see just how effective she is. Yes, I do know she is a she. Yeah, I've seen the comments. I often refer to him as a he, and I don't really have an excuse for that.
Yeah, it's just laziness, I think. And so anyway, that dude flying that crazy helicopter, that broski is about to hit these drones in the line here, straight up attacking worker units in the back. What are we going to see cheeseGrater do to respond? He's bringing a bunch of roaches and Zerglings. Those aren't going to help out in this situation. Meanwhile, on the distract, Vader able to pull a bunch of those units out of the way. They're going to run right head first into these Banelings. The bowling balls of doom upgrade has not been upgraded, allowing Vader to micro out of most of that damage. However, these Zerglings able to pin these boys up against the wall, basically pulling them up in a firing line there and taking them all down. And no doubt we'll see cheeseGrater decide to retaliate. However, vaderSeven, his base is still pretty decently reinforced here just because of the way it's built.
Do you see what I see in the production tab?
No. I need to pull up the production tab. And, oh no, battlecruiser. Yeah, that is not good.
I don't know how effective it's going to be, but it's got me smiling ear to ear. I also see 4 more Raxes in the production tab. So he's going to go heavy bio with, I guess with that battlecruiser just to, you know, spice things up a little bit. He'll be able to protect it really well with these Marines, but he needs to going to watch out for these Banelings really hard because they are, as we saw, they devastated that lost army, and he's got a whole bunch of them, or he's got, you know, about 5 or 6 or 7 over there, and I'm sure he's going to be morphing in more. No doubt he's using that Overseer to, like, fly around, dropping a Changeling. And most likely going to go in and take a peek at what's going on. The battlecruiser is about to be operational. There he is. Who called in the fleet? Here he comes. I wonder to see. I'm not so sure on that, so to speak. I'd love to see it. I wonder just how effective it's going to be. He's taking some SCVs with it.
I'm not sure. I mean, the battlecruiser is a great unit, and I'm not going to argue with his choice to pick one of those up right now. I am going to argue with him building 4 Raxes. He knows his opponent already has Banelings, basically the Zerg hard counter to a Terran bio army, and I'm just really worried about vaderSeven's comp. If these Banelings were able to come and play for cheeseGrater as he's pooping creep all around the center of that semicircle, like I said before, if he can get that creep all the way around there, get that mobility with the bowling balls of doom, it's going to be super effective. vaderSeven moving in headfirst, realizing that battlecruiser is going to give him the advantage in the meantime. Good job stopping that high yield expansion, so maybe this battlecruiser will pay for itself in that regard. All of these forces just gathering up here, making sure that this battle is going to be on top of the creep right now, cheeseGrater is. He wants to make sure that those bowling balls of doom will come into play, and right now the bowling balls of doom, a couple of them moving in head first. The rest of them are just kind of hanging back as small amounts of units are streaming in here to deal with this. I don't like how they're just trailing in. cheeseGrater finally moving in. The mass of his force right now, moving in almost of his units, but all of those Marines, those battle cruisers, just able to get free licks on cheeseGrater's units as they kind of streamed in one by one. I felt like that should have been complete domination by cheeseGrater, but instead vaderSeven just ran into a very favorable situation. 2 Corruptors, though, go ahead and take care of business with that on top of that battle cruiser. So cheeseGrater, I feel like that was just some missed micro by cheeseGrater, but he comes out on top.
Yeah, in the end, looking at the units lost tab, we, more for cheeseGrater, but less resources. So, I like the way vaderSeven positioned his Marauders to tank that first wave of Banelings, and he was doing a nice job keeping his battlecruiser being healed by those SCVs. He basically took out all of those Mutalisks with that single battlecruiser. And however, once the Speedlings were able to break through the rest of the bio and kill those SCVs, the Corruptors were able to clean up the battlecruiser. So I'm not sure what the current situation is. Meanwhile, those Corruptors are taking out that orbital command there. It's going to have to fly and land here anytime now. Meanwhile, there is another battlecruiser up and running, and some more Marauders and more Marines. He's sticking with that strategy here. Meanwhile, the Corruptors are a nice counter to that battlecruiser. I like that choice. We'll have to see just how well it works out. Another battlecruiser is in production, as well as the 2 engineering bays and an armory. So he's going to go. vaderSeven going for huge, quick upgrades at this point, it seems.
Yeah, he needs to do that, and also we need to see concussive shells if he's going to be pumping these Marauders. Also, we need to see Marine shields. Those would be 2 great options to deal with this super speedy army and these Banelings from his opponent. But we'll see if he does decide to pump those upgrades. He does have Stim Pack right now, which would allow him to out-micro any Banelings that are trying to come in on him. cheeseGrater going ahead and moving out across the map here. Oh no, Snog left the game, whoever that is. I'm not sure. Maybe an SC2GG kid. I'm not sure. And this army just completely gathering up here, about to move in on this 4 o'clock expansion, Danny. And I'm not sure if this is going to work out. He needs to stem and move back. Got himself into a choke here. Bowling balls of doom rolling in. The bowling ball is getting towards the back. Not taking down those Marauders, though. The Marauders were a bit too beefy. cheeseGrater is going to be able to get free licks, though, as Zerg players love to lick their opponents, and these Marauders moving across the map now, realizing they're going to have to do some damage before they die because they're completely exposed. There's no anti-air here right now as more Mutalisks come in, just completely myrtleizing all of these Marauders. Oh man, I think this is going to even things up. I'm sorry, it pushes vaderSeven way behind in the units lost tab. He's lost 11,000 so far, whereas cheeseGrater's only lost 7,000. So that really propelled him ahead in that regard. Missile turrets being dropped down to this natural expansion. The assault continues on vaderSeven. What would you like to see your boy do, Danny, to get himself out of this hole?
Well, I don't know. I think he really dug himself into a big hole. Look at all of these racks. He's got like six racks here. Here he's now pumping... still pumping Marines, he's pumping some Vikings and some Thors. I think he needs to chill out on the he is chilled out on the expensive battlecruisers. The expensive Thor, I'm not sure how effective that'll be. It'll be really good against those Corruptors because they can't do anything about it, but or those Mutalisks are going to be difficult to deal with. I'm not sure what he can do. I feel like he overextended himself with those battle cruisers. They're way too expensive, as you can see on the units lost at, having lost 3 or 4 of them already. I'd love to see battle cruisers, but I think it was too early.
I completely concur. Now that these Vikings are in the game, I'm not sure how effective they're going to be, because Mutalisks are actually pretty darn effective against Vikings. So we'll see what happens there. And here we go. We're going to have Mutalisk versus Viking action here. There was just a completely superior force from cheeseGrater with all those Corruptors to back it up. Vikings go down immediately. Meanwhile, these Mutalisks forced to focus down all of these Marines, while these Marauders were just able to do massive amounts of damage on the ground. Some Speedlings coming in to try to deal with them, and the Speedlings are going to do some damage. These Marauders are in quite the situation, as most of them are at super low health at this point. Speedlings just coming in one by one. These Marauders are going to try to take down this hatchery with their last dying shots. I don't think it's going to work out. There's too much here to defend, as cheeseGrater once again coming out on top in another exchange. vaderSeven now having 14,500 loss. It was cheeseGrater's only a 9,500 loss. And while we have another altercation with these Marauders on the ground, these Marines able to just get tons of shots in on these Corruptors. These Corruptors need to pull out at this point. They need to pull back. The Corruptors, though, doing everything they can, as only a couple mutas are in the game here to deal with this force. This force, I think, is going to be able to push up, but it's just exchange after exchange, Danny. It's a bloodbath here at this high yield.
Yeah, absolutely. vaderSeven does not want to give up. He just says more Marines, more Marauders. He's finally got the concussive shells and the shield upgrade now. Now he actually managed to push cheeseGrater back here. I thought it was kind of a foolish move to just be forcing his units right down the throat there, but he's going, you know, I'm going to send wave after wave of my own men and just take them out through pure pressure. But here come those Mutalisks again. And with that bouncy glaive, there's just not enough Marines to deal with these Mutalisks, unfortunately. He's going to have to move those Marauders out to do something. You don't want them sitting there, sitting ducks against that one Mutalisk. They're all stemmed up. They're going to run in, probably try and snipe that hatchery again, but that's unfortunately not going to work. There's just too many Speedlings again. And so it's almost like my pick vaderSeven. He's just banging his head against this wall.
Oh man, this is awesome. This is like a game of... I always talk about Battlecraft. This is exactly like Battlecraft. It's like two platoons Marines, one platoon Marauders heading up, then immediately you have Mutalisks and Speedlings to counter in the center of this map. You know, it always seems to go down around this crescent shape here at the middle of the map, these high yields, when you have Zerg versus Terran games. You know, it seems to be most of the casts we've done, that's how it's working out. By the way, vaderSeven completely setting up shop over here at the 4 o'clock position, building 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missile turrets. He has like 3 more queued up. On top of that, doesn't want any muta harass that new expansion. He's going to be leaning on that one pretty heavy right now. And pulling up the income tab, 106 harvesters for vaderSeven, only 51 for cheeseGrater. That's going to become a huge factor as we see vaderSeven just completely pull out front as far as the economy game is concerned, and he is almost maxed out on his supply. And cheeseGrater only at 87 over 180 right now. So if your boy vaderSeven decides to move in sometime soon, this could be a game-ending push.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's 191 over 98. You take out those harvesters, though, it's actually only like 90 to about 60 or so, 60 or 70 or so. Oh, so keep that in mind.
Well, Vader needs to pull his harvesters off the line and send them all into attack. 100 of them could probably take down the entire map.
I would like to see that. That would be epic, full army of SCVs. He's got another battlecruiser out there. I like that he's sticking with it. So let's see if here we go though. This is the Broodlords.
Broodlords are in the game right now. The Broodlords just going to be sitting there. They're going to use that range advantage. They are going to be super effective against Marauders. Both players playing super hesitant. I mean, 26-44. The Broodlords going in first, doing all kinds of damage out the gate. Bowling Balls of Doom coming in here, ripping through this army. All the Terrans are dying. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Will these Marauders survive? The one battlecruiser left by himself. Oh my gosh. All these mutas are going to clean up house on him as cheeseGrater completely dominates here in the center of the map. He's got to move out. He's got to take advantage of this situation. There's one Thor. Thor is here, and he dies immediately to all the Broodlord damage. Danny, this is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And there goes that the battlecruiser. I think I'm ahead of you a little bit. I'm at 27-35. Meanwhile, those Broodlords are just devastating. They're taking out this high yield. And unfortunately for vaderSeven, he never really got that going. He's going to have to lift off. He's only got some Marines and Marauders, so those Broodlords will be very, very effective against those. He's got to pull back. Meanwhile, the Speedlings just streaming across the map, going to take out this orbital command. And no, they're going to full back. These Broodlords are continuing just pushing forward right into vaderSeven's base, keeping that pressure on him, while the Speedlings are over at the other expansion. So this is crazy action. He stems up some Marines to get towards those Broodlords. He starts taking them out. Nice work there. That's going to be the end of these.
cheeseGrater, get your boys out. Oh, getting taken down by the stemmed up Marines, but they hold it off. In the meantime, I'm at 28-39. This is a crazy battle as these Broodlords continue to apply redonkulous amounts of pressure on these Marauders. This is a terrible day for the Marauders, but the Vikings get in here to back up their boys, and cheeseGrater's going to need to pull these Mutas back, as Vikings and Marines are in the game right now to counter them. These Mutas are thirsty for blood. They've got to get them all, and they die immediately to all those Vikings and Marines. Meanwhile, it all starts to come to a head once again at this high-yield expansion over here, as a ton of Speedlings are now on top of the creep. That creep is extended more than halfway around that semicircle as these Speedlings try to get the surround on these Marines, Danny. vaderSeven, these boys are pulling out all the stops. This is such an epic game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just every moment right now is super important. I almost think that vaderSeven has too many SCVs over here. Look at how many SCVs he has at this one really mining expansion. And so he needs to get more of an army out. He finally seen the production tab. Looks like cheeseGrater does not really have anything going, though. He has a little bit left at his natural, but he really needs his high yield badly because he just doesn't have any other mining, any other mining base there, and the natural will be done in just a few seconds here. So that's why he's holding on to this high yield as much as he can. He's got it really heavily saturated, trying to milk it for all it's worth before Vader moves in again. I'm not sure Vader what he's doing. I don't know if he realizes what the situation he is in, or he can get that pressure going, but he is not. Checking out the units tab. We've got a Thor, a couple medevacs, Marauders, and Vikings, and lots of Zerglings. Just a small handful of Banelings and some
I'm sorry to
Corruptors.
interrupt you, but here come these bowling balls of doom down to this bottom right-hand expansion. Oh, they pulled out. They pulled out, deciding not to explode on that expansion. They're going for the other expansion, Danny. I'm at 31-21. These Banelings, oh, taking down everything. Oh, the Banelings just ripping through everything. The Speedlings backing them up, doing severe devastation to that high-yield expansion.
Yeah, absolutely. And now vaderSeven, he's like, he's had enough of it. He's taken out this highway. He is moving out with what he's got. With decent force there. Vikings, Marines, Marauders, medevacs, a Thor there to back it up. He needs to make sure that Thor doesn't get left behind. He's going to need that there to really finish things off. Here he goes. He's got the high yield. He's going to snipe that high yield, no problem. The drones have to roll out. He could probably pick them off, taking off that queen, pick off several drones. So unfortunately, the drones are leading him right to that new expansion that just popped up. So he'll be able to snipe that no problem too.
That's super great. Come on, cheeseGrater. He's going to try to pull in the remaining resources he can here. And right behind this army, waiting on that creep for them to show up, are a whole bunch of Corruptors and a whole bunch of Banelings. So this is going to be the final push from cheeseGrater. He's going to roll out here. He's going to roll into a situation where he's out of position. We'll see, as your boy vaderSeven just in such a dominating position. Income tab is 0 for cheeseGrater right now, and 1,000 over 700 for vaderSeven. So no matter what happens here, vaderSeven's gonna be able to reinforce. These Banelings coming up from behind though, rolling up the ramp, trying to get a strike, trying to make something happen, doing a ton of damage, but those Marauders were just too robust with that level 2 armor upgrade. Only 3 or 4 of them died, and cheeseGrater is forced to GG out there. So that's going to go ahead and even up the series. vaderSeven responding to the devastation from last game. Good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Great response. Doing a good job of keeping the macro up, and really, I think maybe the problem there for cheeseGrater is he focused so hard on keeping this high yield that he let Vader get ahead of him by picking these easier to defend expansions. Maybe if he had gotten this upper like 11 o'clock earlier, and maybe this far 9 o'clock, he could have had more resources. As we've seen, as you said earlier, this high yield and the Terran High Yield, that's where the battles take place in this map. It's very, very hard to hold that, very, very risky. Lucrative if you can do it, but I think in the end, that's part of what caused vaderSeven to push ahead.
I think you're right there. What an epic game. Well, we're going to move straight into Game 3 here, folks. So click that link on the right, the red link. That'll bring you to Game 3 if you want to check that out. And if you like what you've seen here, you can check out our YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/FTW Broadcasting. Click the blue link at the bottom there. That'll bring you over to our channel. Also, you can click in the center of that heart, and that will be you subscribing to our channel. Danny does a sick dance every time you subscribe, so we really appreciate your support. Let's check out Game 3. If it's as good as the first two games, we're in for a treat.